Hi, this is Jim with ProfitTraining.com. We're going to take a look at the commodity markets on the S&P 500. September, it's in an uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows. The 14-day directional movement, the plus line is above the minus line. So odds are with higher prices for the S&P. And again, on all this analysis, this commentary can change by the day depending on market action. So right now, it's just my best guess or guess technical expertise or whatever you want to call it for right now. Anyway, the bonds look like they're making a double top. They look like they'll probably break lower from here. I'm expecting lower prices in bonds. Bonds and stocks normally trade opposite each other, so a higher stock market would go hand in hand with the bonds going lower here. The dollar looks like it's making a double top. It had a bullish bar Friday, but I think that's just a test of the top. Markets will often come back and test the high. Like if this was the high, this is just classic action here. And the dollar could go up and make another new high, and I still wouldn't turn bullish on it. I think this is a double top here. So this area here will be a top, but I think the top's already in and lower prices are on the way for the dollar. Cocoa is making higher highs and higher lows. It moved below the bands, but I think that's just a pullback in the uptrend. I think these higher highs and higher lows are bullish, and a close back above the bands would turn the picture bullish again for cocoa. Coffee's been a strong uptrend. It's trading above the bands. The directional movement is bullish, so odds are with continued higher prices in coffee. So above the bands is bullish. That's the sign the buyers are in control, and then the lower band will be support, which it did. The directional movement, whenever the red ADX line starts to move higher, that's bullish. That means the market is trending, and that puts the odds with the upside. The ADX is the red line of the directional movement indicator. The directional movement, there's three lines: the plus line, the minus line, and the ADX line. And the ADX line is a very important component of the directional movement, but all three lines are important to keep an eye on. Sugar, same picture, above the bands, a sign of strength. The buyers are in control. New highs on Friday for this move up, and the ADX line is making new highs, so everything's in place for higher prices for sugar. That's a bullish trending market. Crude is another market that's traded above the bands, completely above the bands. Whenever it moves completely above the bands, I look at that like the buyers are in control or a sign of strength. And basically, it just puts the odds with the upside. When it's above the bands, it's in a bull swing, and I just think higher prices are on the way. The ADX is rising. It's at 25. 25 is often a number that people look at. It's at 25.67. Anything above 25 means that the market is starting a trend. So, and the bands are pointing up, so the odds are with higher prices for crude. Now here's the markets that everybody likes: gold and silver, and they've been really sideways for quite a while here, but that's going to change one of these days. That's just the way these markets work. They'll narrow down like this. It looks like gold's making a triangle here. This is just a classic triangle, and this narrowing down at the end of it is probably the apex of the triangle. The apex is the end of the triangle, and odds are with a move higher from here in gold. Again, it could break lower. That's why we watch them day by day. It could come down here and make another double bottom. There's nothing saying that it couldn't, but I just think right now that odds are with the move higher, and we'll just play it day by day, take it day by day, and see what happens. Silver, again, it's been really quiet lately, and when it starts to lull you asleep, a lot of times something big's about ready to happen. And the fact that most of the commodities are going higher kind of tells you that the next move will be up for silver and gold, but again, there's never any guarantees. But right now, I think basically this was the low in silver. This what was that? June 28th was the low in silver, and I think this is the first move up. This is the test of the low, a higher test of the low, and then I expect the next move to be up for silver. So a lot of bullish action is probably on the way. We'll take a quick look at orange juice. We usually don't look at that one In the premium newsletter, I went short orange juice the other day, so and we're ahead about 5 points already. So if you're ever interested in that premium newsletter, I tell you that I give you exact entry point, exact stop. We sold right below this narrow range bar, and then the stop's back here, and then basically we're going to move the stop closer as soon as possible. But I think orange juice is heading to test this low at 102, so we got in at 114.70, I think it was, and I expect to move down to 102 in orange juice, so we're looking good on that one right now. Lean hogs and live cattle, I think those are both heading higher. We'll look at lean hogs here. Um, the weather is affecting the livestock and grains. It's a drought here in Iowa, and the rest of the Midwest too, and probably the rest of the United States. I don't follow it, I don't follow the fundamentals too much, but I just know here in Iowa, I've only had to mow the grass once this year, and that is just unheard of. So that tells you right there. It's just that everybody's grass is dead as a doornail, and that includes I take walks around the neighborhood, and some of these neighbors really keep their lawns up no matter what, and everybody's just basically let it go dormant this year. It's just everybody's grass is brown, and nobody's mowing their lawns. So that we've just had no rain this year hardly. Lean hogs, I think what they did is they made a double bottom here, and then this sharp move up was the low, and I'm expecting higher prices from here. Now what I'm planning to do in the premium newsletter, I haven't got a buy signal yet, but when we get a buy signal in lean hogs, I'm going to take it. Usually I don't put out a buy signal in both lean hogs and live cattle at the same time. So what I'm just going to go with lean hogs this time. I just like the chart a little better, and I'm just kind of sitting back. And live cattle already put in a buy signal, but we could still get in live cattle long here. Again, that kind of made a double bottom here, triple bottom actually, and it moved up, and I just basically think live cattle is going to head higher. We could actually buy live cattle right here right now, but I'm going to wait for lean hogs and just it'll be kind of make sure that everything's heading higher. Be kind of like a double check. If lean hogs moves higher with live cattle, then I'll be a little more confident going long. Here's a little closer look at live cattle. Made a double bottom, and then it moved above the bands, and anywhere in here is a buy signal, and you could put a stop at the last pivot low. Again, I don't take every trade in my premium newsletter, but I try to take a nice variety, and like I said, we'll be going long lean hogs. So sometimes if you'd go long lean hogs and live cattle, then you'd just be like, if one went against you, the other one probably would. They normally trade together, not all the time, but anyway, so I usually just try to trade one of the two. Okay, the grains are all just going to the moon because of this drought. Again, the directional movement is extremely bullish. When the purple line is spreads far apart from the green line, which the plus line and minus line, that means it's a strong uptrend. The red ADX line rising again is a strong uptrend. I think a lot of people are looking for a top end corn, and I don't think it's even close. I mean, and the thing is, we got in this market clear back here, so we're in corn good in the premium newsletter. Again, a plug for the premium newsletter. If you want some good trades, the premium newsletter trades are, I think, the best you'll find. And right now I have them on sale for $99 a year. I mean, that you can't find a newsletter like this for $99 a year. So, I mean, beans, we got in on this bar. We went long on this bar. We're still long beans. And beans is in a huge uptrend. Record prices. Wheat in the premium newsletter. Now normally I only go long one grain at a time, but I could see that I thought a big move was coming. I don't want to say I could see it coming, but it looked like it was coming. And so I got in 3 different grains in the premium newsletter. Usually I just trade one, kind of like the cattle and lean hogs. I try to just trade one in a sector at a time. But this one I thought it was going to be a big move up, and so I got in 3 of them just to give everybody a chance. If somebody had their favorite market, like if somebody was a wheat trader, if somebody was a bean trader, if somebody was a corn trader, I wanted to try to get in all of them. Oats, I should have got in long, but we were already long 3, so I didn't. But anyway, oats, we got long on this bar right here, 620. We went long, and that's just been a huge move up, and we're still long all those grains, corn, bean, and wheat. We're still long. And then oats is pretty much the same picture, strong uptrend. We'll get in oats probably on pullbacks. Maybe the next trade I get for a buy signal for oats. These markets will eventually pull back, and then oats I'll make sure we get in there long in case there's an oat trader, some oat traders out there. Because everybody's got their favorite market, and I hate to leave anybody out, but yet on the other hand, I can't take every, I can't put out every trade there is. But this is, strong uptrend on oats. So that's a wrap up. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find something that helps you in there. And thanks for listening. This is Jim, ProfitTraining.com.